Here are 4 of my favorite frugal habits that changed my finances and can change yours too. Overall, I just want you to know that living below my means has been one of the most pivotal concepts in transforming my finances, but I'm going to narrow it down even more for you today. Number 1, this one I always hear from you guys that this has changed your life, and that is to treat your savings like a bill. It's one of the most effective psychological and financial strategies for your finances, and here is exactly why it works. Number 1, it makes savings non-negotiable. Just like your rent, your utilities, your phone bill, you don't question whether you should pay it or not. You just do it, right? You don't even think about it. It's like autopilot, right? When you treat your savings as optional, you think like, oh, well, I'll use savings when I have leftover money. What leftover money? If you don't if you don't prioritize it, it's going to get skipped, okay? So the second way that this is an effective tool is it prioritizes and protects your future self. So you're not saving for like a vague someday. You're paying yourself now, like your future self now. That money builds security, opportunity, and freedom later. For me, it's all about the freedom later. Like sometimes I sacrifice a little bit now so that I can see my future self just enjoying, right? So being a saver becomes your buffer so you don't rely on credit cards or loans in a crisis. It also protects you from possibly an unsafe or unhealthy situation that you may unexpectedly land in. And sometimes we don't predict these. Sometimes you don't even realize you're in it until you're in it. So like a bad relationship or a bad job that's actually making you sick, you're the most important bill you will ever pay. So remember that. And don't put yourself second. Put yourself first. Pay yourself first. The third way is it turns a struggle into a habit. Sometimes we can't save or we say we can't save. But when you treat your savings like a bill, it turns that struggle into a habit. It's automatic. And when you save automatically, you eliminate the decision fatigue, like thinking about it. You just do it. So if you save $500 a month, right? Like every year, that's $6,000 a year. That's $60,000 in 10 years. And if you're investing that, even more, right? With interest and investment growth. So that's something to think about. And number 4, it creates momentum. There is nothing more exciting for me than seeing that number build in my savings, in my investing, and even small amounts make huge differences down the road. So don't underestimate the power of treating your savings like a bill. I've had so many people share with me like that is one of the biggest takeaway from this channel, that now that they've changed that, it has changed their finances. So if that is not something you have started doing, start today. Number 2 is to empower yourself with a budget buffer. That's also in one of the top probably 3 to 5 things that people share with me, has made a huge difference by watching this channel and me talking about it a lot, okay? So what is the budget buffer? The budget buffer is a month of expenses in your checking at all times, okay? This protects you from so much. It's not your emergency fund per se, but it's like a built-in catch-all, okay? And when you have a month of expenses in your checking, you can cover most things, right? So if you get in a little jam or if you go over on something, you don't sweat it. And I'm all about not sweating it when it comes to finances. I've been through a lot and that's the last thing I want to worry about on repeat. So for those of you that freak out and say, that should be in a high yield savings, you can. But this is another thing where if your monthly expenses are $2,000, $3,000, I'm not sweating the interest on that. I'm just not, okay? But if your monthly expenses are $10,000, that might be a different story. So that you've got to think about it. But the point is to have this cash flow somewhere readily available at all times. And me, I prefer the checking. 1 month of expenses, it's a buffer. It's a buffer between you and disaster. And it's there at all times. And when you use it, you replenish it, okay? It has been so pivotal for me to always have that money there instead of panicking. Number 3, focus on buying your freedom instead of buying things. Freedom for me is the whole point. I have shared with you before that my biggest money regret, hands down, is not investing sooner, right? But I often think my second biggest money regret is not living my life like Mr. Money Mustache earlier. Do you guys know Mr. Money Mustache? If you've never checked him out, Google him, because I am just in love with his philosophy on how he handled his life. And he kind of like, at the beginning, kind of stumbled into it. Like I don't even think like he knew exactly, he just thought this was smart and he thought everyone did this. And then he realized, oh, not everybody does it this way. And he started this amazing blog, Mr. Money Mustache. And he's been largely successful in sharing this message. And so what he did, and this is in a nutshell, and obviously there's more to it, but he worked so hard in his 20s, him and his wife at the time, and they made money. I think they were engineers, and they made like a lot of money in their 20s, but not like an exorbitant crazy amount, but they just focused on earning and they invested. They saved, I think, a lot, let's say 50 to 75%. I can't remember off the top of my head, so please don't quote me on that. Together, they saved a large percent of their income. And so what they did was they built that nest egg, and then in their 30s, they decided to have a child, and they were able to retire at age 30. He was almost 31, but he was still 30, and be there for his son. I think this is so genius. I just have so many thoughts on this topic, but I also wonder if I hadn't done it the way I did it, obviously things would have been different in many ways, but I had a lot of fun in my 20s. And if I had done it differently, if you ever want me to talk about this more, I can save that for another video. Should I have done that? Should I have worked hard in my 20s, saving intentionally? That's the thing, saving intentionally a large amount, investing it, so that could compound, right? And then spend my 30s raising my son and, really enjoying motherhood and not having to worry about working 40 hours a week on top of it. And then it's just to me, like, I just wonder, like, could I have done it that way? Let me know your thoughts. I'm starting to ramble, I apologize. But if I would have known about FIRE, the Financial Independence Retire Early movement, when I was in my teens, I would have crushed it. I know I would have. If I would have known about this earlier, I just know I could have made it work so well. Now I'm in my 40s now, and I'm still doing my absolute best, but the whole thing about investing early and letting that money compound it's literally priceless. And also, I just wish that while I don't know if a stay-at-home mom track would have been what I preferred, I know that I would have liked to have had more flexibility in that period of my life. You know what I mean? I wish I would have. Not necessarily completely stay at home. I don't know. That's never been an option for me. It would have been nice for it to have been an option. I don't know. You guys can let me know how you feel about all of that. But focusing on buying your freedom instead of buying things, your whole life would be different if we weren't focused on things, buying the latest this and the latest that, and clothes and furniture and decorations and all that stuff. That stuff, when given the chance, given the option, I rather have the freedom and flexibility that comes with being smart with your money. And I just think about that a lot. And I don't know if you guys think about that too, wherever you're at in life. Let me know in the comments, what is your biggest financial regret? I'm very curious. Number 4 is to love what you do have instead of wanting what you don't have. I know this is easier said than done, but truth be told, I love getting new things sometimes, but most days I heavily rely on and rejoice in what I currently have. I will break it down to being so grateful for the plate that I am eating my food on. I will walk around the house and just be like, oh, thank you for this house. Like, I love my house. You guys know what it took for me to get this house. And I still, to this day, I'm thankful every single day. My cats. I have 3 beautiful cats. They bring so much joy to my life. Obviously, my son, I look at him and I'm just in awe. I'm in awe, sheer awe that we got to be mother and son. Like, how lucky are we? Like, it's amazing. And when you focus on all the things that you've got and stop worrying about the crap that you don't have, who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares in the long run? If you've got people that you love and you are safe, you know, like it's everything, right? So to recap, okay, the first thing is treating your savings like a bill. That has changed my life and it could change yours too. Give it a try. Number 2, empower yourself with a budget buffer. 1 month of expenses in your checking at all times. It's a catch-all. It's beautiful. It's a lifesaver. Number 3, focus on buying your freedom instead of buying things. And that's all about priorities. But I wish I would have prioritized my freedom sooner. And I might think back, like, there's ways that I just couldn't, but I could have done better had I known what other people were accomplishing. What Mr. Money Mustache did, I've never even heard of that before until later in life. You know what I mean? So it's just, the more you know, the more you tune into what other people are doing that's successful that you want to do. Knowledge is power. Number 4, love what you have already instead of dwelling on what you still want. I'm not saying don't have goals. Have goals, of course. But come from a place of gratitude and come from a place of sometimes what you already have is enough. And sometimes it's plenty. But we're so conditioned and we're so influenced by people telling us that we're not enough, we don't have enough. So go the other way with that. Focus on everything you have, because when you do that, you will realize you actually have so much. If you're interested in more videos on living below your means and frugal habits that are going to change your life, click on this video next. Thank you for being here. See you in the next video. Bye, guys.